Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We have a packed video for you today with tons of news and updates for Tarkov. There are a few more pre-wipe events published from BSG, as well as some changes to the boss spawn rates that weren't published. We got some Nikita Leaks, events, drops, and other permanent goodies that you can collect. So let's not waste any more time and get you guys all up to date. Pretty safe to say that the pre-wipe events are moving into full swing now. Now remember, pre-wipe events themselves are only on PvP, not PvE. And in the last 2 days, we've had as many events get added to the game. The first event started yesterday on December 18th, and here is the tweet announcing it. It reads out the losses of both PMC factions during nighttime operations have increased. The old timers believe that this is due to the pilgrimage of the so-called witnesses to their marked circles. There are reports of many of those hooded people carrying marked keys. Despite the increased danger, PMCs are now preparing for night raids and taking advantage of the fact that Mechanic has started selling NVGs at great discount. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much reads it all out right there. This puts cultists at 100% spawn rate at night on customs, shoreline, and woods. On ground zero and factory, they are 10% at night. In addition to this, they are spawning with mark room keys way more frequently. So it'll give you a chance to check out some of this content if you don't normally do it here before the wipe happens, if you haven't already. Now, as far as NVGs, you can see here that even the really good quad nods are only about 43,000 rubles, and you can buy 12 of them per reset. So NVGs are going to be everywhere. Yeah, the other ones are cheaper, but there's not really any reason to run these and not run these with as cheap as they are. Now, the second event is an oldie but a goodie. The lore writes it up as a conflict between Prapor and Peace Keeper, but the down and dirty is you can get top-end ammo from Peacekeeper and Prapor for trading them dog tags. So if we go in here and look, you can see on Prapor, you're going to get 7.62 by 54R SNB, which is one of the top end ammos for like the Mosin or the SVD for bear or USEC dog tags. All of the Prapors are going to be USEC dog tags. You can also get PBP with 9x19 ammo, SP6, which is the 9x39, the Valor VSS ammo, and then 5.45, 7 and 40, obviously the AK ammo. Now on Peacekeeper, these are all bear trade-ins, so obviously the USEC guy wants bear tags and the bear guy wants USEC tags. You get CBJ from Peacekeeper, and then 995 CBJ is the 300 blackout, 995 is the 5.56 ammo, and then you get M62 and M80, which are 7.62 by 51 ammos, and they're all boxes, 12 limit per reset, so you can get tons of ammo doing this. So there will be lots of ammo running around. Now, along with this, the boss spawn rate has been pushed to 50% across all maps, with the exception of Kaban, who is at 100%. The goons are also on all the maps as well at 50%. That means you could potentially, like on customs, run into Reshala, the goons, and cultists all on a single raid if you wanted to. And you don't even have to be on PvE to do that, which anybody who plays PvE knows that that's kind of been a thing for a while now over there on that side of the game. Now, this itself probably isn't a pre-wipe event, if that really matters to you, simply because it is on PvE and PvP. I think they were just looking to apply this because people asked for it, and they really liked having the bosses in from the event, 2 weekends ago. So that was a good change. BSG listened to the community. Now, going forward, if BSG does like they do every year, we should see a steady flow of events till wipe. We might not get a new one every day between now and then, but it'll be close to that. Now, keep in mind, we've heard from Nikita at least a half a dozen times now that wipe is going to be a Christmas wipe or a New Year's wipe or an end of the year wipe. So it's safe to say it'll probably be next week. I don't know anything. I don't have any date given to me. If I did, I'd give you guys. All I'm going off of what we've heard publicly and everybody's heard, plus the last 2 December wipes were on the 27th and 28th. So that's probably safe to go within that range. But like I said, we'll get a better idea once the traders get fully unlocked and everything goes to 1 ruble. Now, as far as patch notes for the wipe, which will be patch 16, those usually don't land until the servers go down. And even then, they don't cover everything, not just bugs and stuff that BSG doesn't know is there, but BSG and Nikita like to surprise the player base with a few bits of content here and there that people might not find for a couple of days or a week or whatever it is, however long it takes for the streamers to power through it. They like that kind of surprise for, oh, cool, there's this in the game. They like doing that for the community. I know some people want complete patch notes, and I don't fault you for that. I kind of would like it too, though I do like the surprises, but this is just the way it is. It's what BSG does. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter. It ain't going to change anything. Now, this wipe is a crucial one for BSG, as this last wipe, this, the last couple of months, has left a pretty bad taste in a lot of people's mouths with bugs, including me. Things like progression rollbacks, pieces of content not being accessible like Lightkeeper, just things like that have just gotten worse and worse. And the scary thing, honestly, is that there's some pretty big changes that are coming in this next patch altogether. Now, looking at the roadmap from BSG, we've got, this is their patch 16, is new high-end content, which that just means like high level end game content. That I confirmed that with Apple. That's what that means. Quality of life improvements, technical improvements, new weapons, sound engine improvements, game client performance optimizations, expansions to interactive location mechanics, and then winter weather season, so snow. Now, we know that there's a pretty significant set of changes coming to both audio and weapon recoil because they're both in the ETS right now. It's not secret. BSG's published that information out there. And last we heard, Unity 2022 is going to be part of this wipe as well. Yes, I know we've been hearing about Unity 2022 for, God, yeah, or 2023, depending on what year it was, but it's been years, right? But this is kind of the make or break point. As we've talked about in the past, BSG has been assumedly been working in Unity 2022 with some of their patches and stuff. And it's not just, you can't just take stuff in 2020 that you've built in 2022 as a developer and put it in, I think we're in Unity 2019 right now. There's a little bit, maybe back compatibility, but it's quite a bit of work. That's why I think there's a lot of stuff that hasn't been done the last month and a half as far as content, and why the patch 15.5 was so delayed is that Unity's just holding everything up. So I'm pretty sure that it's Unity 22 or the patch is just delayed. We're at that point right now. That's my assumption. BSG hasn't said that, but the pieces kind of all fit. Now, that means with the sound changes in Unity and recoil and all that stuff, that's a lot of stuff to change around, which means there's a ton of potential for things to break and go sideways. Plus, the December wipes are always the most popular and busiest for Tarkov, which means there's almost always server problems as well as the potentials for queues to get into the game. And we haven't even started talking about Twitch drops yet, which I'm assuming they're going to be doing them, though we haven't heard anything about that yet either. But they did do those kind of last minute last year. Now, for me, I'm just being cautiously optimistic, hope for the best, but expect the worst. This wipe could be, this next patch could be all sunshine and rainbows and be the best wipe we've ever had and just be amazing, and Tarkov comes back to the game we all love. But it's probably going to be a rough January. It's at least what I'm expecting. But with that, we'll grind through it ourselves. We'll keep you guys posted on everything we can as far as the news, of course, but bugs or workarounds and stuff like that to kind of make your gaming experience a little bit more enjoyable. And then include anything else relevant, obviously. And then hopefully Tarkov will come out of the other side of this in the spring, dang near ready for 1.0, dare I say. Is this copium? Yeah, sure it is. I'm not even gonna lie. But the good news is, if things do come apart at the seams for Tarkov, there's a lot of other good games out there floating around right now. In the past, we haven't had that. At least I haven't. I haven't had stuff I'm interested in. But right now, it's like we're a week to wipe, and I've got 5 games I want to play that I don't have time for. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to wipe. I'm anxious for it. But again, cautiously optimistic. Now let's talk about the drops and arena stuff. They did a pretty hefty patch to arena a few days ago. It brought everything up to in line with Tarkov's patch 15, all the guns and mechanics and stuff. I did a full video on that. If you want to watch it, go, if you're interested in that, go watch that. I ain't gonna rehash it here, but they are patching again tonight. So I got the right tweet up now, but tonight, December 20th, at 1:30 Eastern. So that's gonna be 10:30 Pacific. 6:30 a.m. GMT, which, if I'm guessing right, that's like 5:30 in Sydney, 5:30 p.m. I didn't look it up. I should have, but I'm just going quick through here. Servers are gonna be down for 3 hours. You can't play. My guess is hopefully they're going to use this to fix some problems that have arose from the last patch, but also maybe get ready for the upcoming events we're about to talk about. And that's what this tweet is. If you play Escape from Tarkov Arena from December 20th on December 23rd, it's a free weekend, but you have the ability to unlock the Snowman t-shirt, which is showing right here. I'll make it bigger. This will stay with you through wipes. Once you unlock it, it's permanently attached to your account. I'm not sure exactly how the mechanics of that's going to be, if it's going to be one of the things you claim through the website or whatever, but you will get this if you complete this task this weekend. If you're into that kind of thing, it's there. I'm sure it's not going to be too hard. Can't see it yet, so I can't tell you what it is. We won't know till tomorrow. But that's just the first bit. That is for playing it. Again, your task to unlock this. If you watch streamers, there's going to be Twitch drops also from the 20th to the 23rd with a bunch of stuff, yeah, cool. Lego medals, all that's interesting, except for the fact that it's all going to get deleted probably in a week or two with wipe. But you are going to get access to the Oakley SI gas can white unique sunglasses and the half mask, the white half mask. This is going to be in theme with what we've seen. We saw some stuff earlier where we're gonna have white camo and shit for snow, which is gonna be pretty cool, and white gear. But this stuff is also going to persist through the wipe. I asked Apple about that, and he said it would be available in the armory. So just some stuff you can get if you're interested. Some drops and things that will persist through the wipe, so it does matter. Will be this weekend, December 20th through the 23rd. Now moving on to one of my favorite things about this, and it is it's the Nikki Leaks, if you will. These are things Nikita posts. He's been doing short little clips, kind of previewing things, giving us little behind the scene sneak peeks at stuff, doing these more and more. And there's some interesting stuff here, so let's go through it. It opens up with a Christmas tree. I don't know if this really matters. It could just be these guys kind of teasing us about the Christmas tree that we're going to get in the hideout, because we get that every year. Wipe will happen and there'll be a Christmas tree in the hideout that you can craft with. So don't forget that. This here looks like, to me, it's really hard to see, but this looks like merch. This looks like a t-shirt to me right here, and it's kind of like cultist themed stuff. So maybe we'll see some cultist merch in the store if that's something you're interested in. This is some kind of level preview. I honestly, I looked at this a couple of times and I kind of gave up because it's still in like rough, unfinished state, and it could be Tarkov, it could be Arena. I mean, this could be customs or it could be woods. Hard to tell. Not much to glean from that. But the next one we get a drum mag for the Scar. This is a 50 rounder, X Products, big mags for the Scar now, not just the 20 rounder. So that's pretty interesting. This is also a aftermarket lower, I believe by X Products as well, which brings an interesting thought. Somebody pointed this out on Twitter and I kind of ran with it. If they do this, we may be getting a step closer to where in game, the parts that like the lower of the gun isn't what determines it as a firearm. It's just another part. One gun kind of does this, and it is the AXMC. So I'll just show you here real quick. If you look at the AXMC as a firearm, let me pull the mag out. The actual firearm itself is just this is the trigger group and the, let me see if it'll pull it up bigger here. Yeah. So it's the trigger group and the bolt. That is the only piece. This is the actual firearm for the AXMC. And that's important because technically a lot of these kind of weapons are multi-caliber. They're modular in some ways so that you can quickly change stuff out. I believe the AXMC is one of those. The MDR and the Scar aren't like that, but instead of having 4 Scars, you know, I think Peacekeeper will have all of them. We'll go look here. But, you know, you have a tan 7.62 Scar, a black 7.62 Scar, 5.56, either way, right? Instead of that, most of these parts are very similar, and it's just a few things to change in between them. So instead of having all of these parts that are attached to a 7.62 Scar, we can have just a couple of parts for that, barrel, things like that, bolts, mags, and then and then the lower, obviously the lowers are different, but you can interchange between these. The MDR is a lot like that. It's more modular, if you will, than the Scar is. It's just a few different pieces to change to go between a 7.62 and a 5.56, or even, I think there's even a 300 blackout MDR. I'm not 100% sure about that. But the big deal is some other weapon systems, one that we're going to see another one here in these videos. But yeah, potential for more parts there. This here, I'm going to let this play. So this is the Doge box. It's kind of a little error box we've seen in the game a few times. And you can see it's kind of rolling by, right? And this could be nothing. This could just be the guys memeing and having fun. But this could be showcasing that we could get some moving environmental objects with Unity 2022. Now we have this in Arena a little bit, like if you shoot some bottles, and I think even like you can shoot the basketball on some of the maps or objects and they like fly around or they blow up or whatever. We kind of have that, but we've also seen some showcasing of that in some clips from BSG with pictures falling off walls, just making the world seem more alive and less fixed. You know, you can't shoot a beer bottle in Tarkov anywhere and have it like, or kick it or whatever and have it move, where maybe this is indicating that. It could be, I could be reaching big time here, but it's a possibility. Now, next is just a clip, some from behind the scenes of them filming. This could be either Chronicles or Rigi, or it could be just some of the other stuff they've been doing. It's hard to say. I feel like we saw this somewhere and we're just seeing the outside of it, but I'm not 100% sure. This is kind of interesting. It's not going to be game changing. These are PNV 57 Echoes. They are a Gen 1 Russian NVG. Obviously, they're bolted to a tanker helmet, which is kind of interesting, but these NVGs will be terrible if they make them true to, if they represent them like they really are, which they do a pretty good job of doing it in game. They should be awful. Gen 1 NVGs are just not good, but we'll see. It's kind of cool that they can kind of bolt to a tanker helmet, because this could provide for some very interesting low-level gameplay to give you access. You know, maybe you find a scav with a tanker helmet that has one of these. It's access to NVGs a little bit earlier to help you see a little bit at night, but not crazy. And then moving past that, we have the, oh yeah, another clip here. Somebody climbing a thing. It could be guys monkeying around or whatever, but this is a screen grab of a Seiko M10 chambered in 338 Lapua based on the screen. Now, this is one of those super modular weapon systems I was talking about. These, along with some other kinds of rifles like this, really quickly, a matter of minutes without any crazy tools, you can change between, you know, 338 Lapua, 300 Win Mag, 7.62x51. There's even some that do 50 cal, but there's only a couple of those. I don't think the Seiko M10 is one of those. But anyways, just some of these other pieces that kind of fall together, potentially showing us getting into that potential for having modular weapons in Tarkov. But also, they could just stick with where they're at, and we don't get them, and this is just another 338 rifle we get. And then the last thing, I almost missed this. This is a mannequin. Oh, big deal, mannequin, right? He's got Timmy clothes on and whatever. But the thing that's interesting to me to this is a screen that we don't have right now. So this kind of makes me think of the start screen where you pick USEC or Bear, but that's not a mannequin. It shows your character. Plus they have a hat on and, you know, all your starter gear. So this is some new either UI element or screen that we don't have in Tarkov yet that's going to be coming. So I think it's important, or they wouldn't be showing it here, or cool at least. So just something to keep your eye out for once we do finally get wipe in patch 16. And then the last little bit, we got a screen grab of what looks to be Reshala getting a new face finally, which he has not been updated since, God, since before I played Tarkov. I want to say probably like his face model is probably from like 2018, maybe 19. But either way, he's getting an update to look a little bit more realistic and less old school, if you will. But pretty sure this is him just because of the tattoos and the scar on his face. This will be the Reshala skin. But that's everything for today. There is a decent chance that by the time you are watching this, another event is already going to have landed. So don't forget to hit that subscribe bell and notification, or subscribe button and notification bell if you want to see these news when they first drop and not be behind. That tells YouTube that you want to see them. But we'll wrap her up there. As always, thank you guys for watching and supporting the content. Wouldn't be here without you, so I do appreciate that. Make sure you get out and get your last minute Christmas shopping done. As of filming this, we're a week from Christmas, not even. So if you got to get that done for your girlfriend or your wife or your kids, make sure you go get it done now. You'll be happier than doing it the day or two before, like some of us have been stuck doing. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, have a good rest of your week and don't worry about having to shop. But with that, I say good luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.